Hey, what's up, everyone? Let me just make sure everything is working here. Hey, what's okay? Cool. Everything is working. Sweet. All right. Nice. What's up, everyone? What's up, chat? Everyone is doing great. Just gonna let everyone join in a bit. I'm running a bit late today. Supposed to be starting at 4:30, and yeah, slightly over time, but it's okay. I hope everyone has had a good week so far. I know that we've had a good week in the VIP group and in the free group. So what's up to everyone that is new, everyone who's tuning in? It's great to see you all here. Again, in the beginning, we're just gonna run through a bit about what we do, what are we going to be doing, and Stephen Rose said buy gold and no need stop loss. Pretty much at this point, it's not wrong. It's definitely not wrong. But if you're trading, obviously we look for buys and sells. If you're holding gold long term, obviously it is good to pretty much, you know, not. I would say the best strategy in terms of gold right now is obviously to just buy spot gold. So if you can get your hands on actual physical gold, that's probably the best way. Trading the markets can be volatile, but if you have a good strategy, you can obviously beat the markets and you can find your edge. That's what it's all about. So yeah, let's. So guys, I was just in, before we get started, and actually found a trade. I was just in Abu Dhabi now. Came back at early hours in the morning, decided to drive back because I wasn't that keen to stay another night because I wanted to get set up and get locked in for today because I knew I was going live, so I wanted to actually just get a bit of sleep before we got live. So that's pretty much what I was doing. Let's see if my mouse is working now. Let's put it on charge. My mouse is completely dead. Great. Alright, so we're going to have to use this trackpad. Just give me a bit of time, guys. I'm obviously just still sitting up here. Alright. So, yeah, let's check what exactly is happening on the charts. We're currently in a few positions at the moment. What's up, Adam? Hope you're doing well, bro. Thanks for tuning in. One of my most loyal watches. So I was just talking about, we haven't missed out on anything just yet. This was a trade that we took previously on the EURUSD in the VIP group, and I just want to break this down for you guys and why it's such a big trade, of course. So we're going to jump into that, and then we're going to go on to the gold chart, see if we can find any positions. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're currently in about 3 positions at the moment. We're in a USD CAD, we're in a EURUSD, obviously this trade, and we're just going to let this one run. And no gold trades just yet. So let's jump into it. So how I got these levels, I just want to show this. Keep this here. Keep my phone like that so I can see the comments. So basically how we got these levels is that we found a level, a key retracement level on the 4-hour chart on the EURUSD. So I'm just going to draw out this box again. For those of you who are in my VIP group, you guys would know where we got this from. So this will be nothing new to you guys, but obviously for the new guys who just tuned in, I just want to jump through this because it was a really, really good trade, and we just, you know, absolutely milking the profits on this for now. So we took it from the swing low, we took it from the swing high, and we found a nice key retracement area. So when we found this, we saw that we had a, you know, push to the upside. We tapped into the level of, you know, the swing high. Previous swing high was 1.18083. We came all the way down to a key level, which a key level on the Fibonacci for me specifically is the 0.618. When we see a clean retracement above that and price starts to reject, we know that price is going to probably head above higher, especially above the previous swing high. So that's why we took advantage of this, and that's why we got in at this position. Pretty much a very, very good entry. Remember, again, this is on the 4-hour chart, so the price move is quite big. So when you see this price move, obviously we break it down, let's say on the 15-minute or the 5-minute chart, it will look obviously a lot different, but we caught this on the 4 hours. So this move alone, we went to a bit of drawdown, and then prices pretty much spiked up. And now again, we've removed our stop loss, and we just monitoring this trade every single day. And don't always advise this, but again, once you're in such high profits, like again, we're sitting on around $24,000 profit on this trade alone. So that's why we've secured ourselves. We made sure we put ourselves in a good spot, and this is why we're just going to let this trade just run. We don't have a TP on just yet, but I'm just showing you guys this is already peaked at around, let's say, 6R on this trade overall, and this trade is just flying. So there's no reason for us to, close here, especially if we know that there's stuff happening in the world, there's uncertainty in the markets, and we know that we got in at a good price, and we're just going to continue holding this. Now again, this is more of a swing trade, a long-term trade, meaning that we're aiming for much higher targets. We're going to take, and what we're going to do is we take the daily, and we start to look left on the daily, and we start to see where's the key zones on the daily. What's up, Hazalk? If I'm saying your name correct. Thanks again for joining, brother. Appreciate it. So now we take a look on the left. So this is how I would monitor this trade. Once you start to break key levels, let's say on the 4 hour chart and on the daily, you can see that we broke above this swing high over here, this swing high over here. So this is creating a new swing high. So on the daily, we're obviously clearly bullish, and we break into new highs. Now, a lot of you guys might say, where would your price point be? Where would your price point be? Where would you be looking to trade? Where would you be looking to hold? And this is when we need, let's say higher time frames, because now we can't even look at the 15-minute, we can't even look at the 5-minute, because that's for more scalp positions. Now we start looking at the daily, we start looking at the weekly, we start looking at the monthly. Now we start looking to the left, we start to see, okay, where's the other key zones? Well, we had a swing high here, and we had a lower high, which formed over here. And we start to say, okay, so if price is going to come up, where's price going to tap into? So let me just get my tool over here. Sorry guys, I'm using a trackpad, so it's a little bit slower today. So you can see this is a key level where price is probably heading up to, and this is where we're probably going to tap. So again, we've got a nice move to the upside. We still got, let's say from this high where we're at the moment, we still see that price can move, let's say 307 points or 305, which is quite a big move in terms of obviously a Euro USD. And this is what we're looking for. So again, obviously now we don't necessarily have a position to enter. We might be, once we're in this position, we can maybe try and find scalp positions, but overall our bias is bullish. Now this is great for us because we understand that we're in control of the Euro USD chart, and this is how we can take positions, based on the bias as well. So yeah, this is pretty much this. So let me just read some of the comments. What are you thinking, OG Euro JPY? We'll have a look at that. A possible swing short I'm seeing on the 4 hour time frame. We'll run through that chart for you. What's up, Michael? Is it Michael Tommy? I'm not sure if I said that correctly. So much Michaels, Michaela, Michelle, but I don't know if I said your name. What's up? I'm a beginner. Made $300 on scalping yesterday. That's awesome, dude. Happy to hear that. Always happy to hear that. Did you manage to catch a position while being in my group, or was this trading by yourself? Just so that I understand. Let's have a look at, excuse me, Euro, what did you say? Euro JPY. Let's have a look at Euro JPY. It's obviously on the daily. We're just going to break it down. On the Euro JPY, we can see clearly if we start on the daily, we can clearly see that we're bullish. No signs of retracement just yet, but again, we have closed below here, which again, this is why Hazalk has a good point. He spotted something interesting on, let's say, the 4 hour, because obviously this is the daily, but we did find something interesting. We could start seeing a reversal on price, but I wouldn't be so convinced just yet. And why I'm going to say that is because we do have a level of support over here. So if you look on the daily, you can see that we're still creating higher highs, right? This could just be a higher low in order for us to continue to drive to the upside. Again, we came down here. I had 3 candles grabbing liquidity within these levels. We can see that we were clearly respected. This was obviously a little range that we formed and tapped into this. Didn't quite fall all the way down, so it could possibly be a short entry, but I would need more confirmation. For now, the bias on the daily looks bullish, but you were talking about the 4 hours, so I want to drop down to the 4 hour and just check what exactly you were looking at and see how we can, take advantage of that. What's it called? So Siri Cartier. The trading view screen is kind of small. Yeah, the thing is, I'm just busy working on it now. I'm going to be moving to an office, so we're going to have a much better space. The screen will be much bigger. The trading setup will be much bigger. It'll be much cleaner. It's just that I'm on my laptop right now, so that's why it's it's going to be a bit smaller. Just for the stream, once we get to the office, I'm going to have my full setup done and dusted, because mine's in storage, because obviously I just came back from Europe, so I didn't have time to get my my setup all set up. Well, my setup all set up doesn't really make sense, but yeah, I didn't have my main setup. I didn't have time to do my main setup because it's still in storage. So we're gonna get that out over the weekend, get that all set up, so that next week everything's gonna be much cleaner, much smoother. We're gonna be in a much better environment. We're gonna proper lighting, so everything's gonna be clean and much better. Like when we first started streaming, that's how my setup was, but we've been moving around a lot, so moving apartments, and yeah, we're going to be based in like a solid apartment for the rest of the year very soon. So just waiting for that. There's a lot of chaos going on in my life right now, but I try and show up for you guys. I try and make a setup. I try and just be live, so I can run through certain setups and trades for you guys, so give you guys the value, because I know you guys do value this. I have received some good comments. Let me just check. Hey Luke, I texted you on Telegram earlier. The two VIP signals on USD are a bit contradictory. The long position stop loss is just before the shorts TP. So again, this is a confusion that some people have, and it's a very good point that you bring this up. So a lot of people, when they see a Euro USD, and if I send, let's say, two signals, so let's say I send one in the swing trade, and let's say I send one in the scalp group, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the groups that I have so that you guys understand. Give me a second. So you guys can see that we have a swing group. This is a scalp group. So currently I have 900 members trading in this group. And this group is basically very short-term trades, right? So it can take up a couple minutes to play out. It can take a couple hours, but generally this trade, we like to close it within the same day, like intraday trading. So this is what this group's about. So if you guys want to get access, obviously, to the scalp group, like Michelle or Michael's talking about, I don't know if I'm getting your name correctly, but this is what he's talking about. So he's saying that there might be two signals that's contradictory, which is very true. Just going to put this on Do Not Disturb. So I'm getting a lot of messages. And then again, let's say it's very possible that we have, let's say, hypothetically, we have a short in the scalp group, but then we have a long in the swing group. Now, a lot of you guys would say, but Luke, how would that make sense? Would you be able to profit off both? Absolutely. And the reason because of that is, let me just get to the swing group. So the LNB Trading Club, this currently has 3,060 members. Most people would prefer, obviously, trading the swing trading. As you can see, it's a much more fuller group. So this is the LNB Trading Club. This is the main group. This is where the signals gets produced. Now, again, these are swing trading ideas, right? So now, again, a signal just came through, a Euro USD, a long buy. And, in the scalp group, we could have had, let's say, a short, potentially. Now, that can happen because this is taking data. We're taking trades and data off a higher time frame, right? And yes, it's 100%. Michelle, the girl's name is right. Okay, perfect. Okay, glad we got that covered. I didn't want to. I thought it was Michelle, but I was like, but all good. Again, very good point. Very good understanding. But again, let's say, for example, the 4 hour, like we said, the 4 hours obviously looking, let's say, bearish at the moment. Let's say on the Euro JPY. Now, on the 15-minute, we might jump down and this chart might look a whole lot different, right? Because now, again, this is obviously very much consolidating, but we could get a scalp position on here. and this could overlap. You know, let's say we're in the short position, but we do see, like, let's say we do see a long on the potential on a scalp trade, which can make sense 100%, because you know you can take multiple positions if you are comfortable with the bias overall. You know, you can take both positions. How I would play, like, let's say there's two positions that's contradicting one another. The ideal situation would be, okay, cool, manage the risk properly in both positions and be understanding that, okay, cool, at any moment, you know, we could come up, grab a top wick, you know, like let's say we're in a short, but now price needs to grab liquidity, you know, in a certain level. So let's say, like, hypothetically, where we're looking, like, let's say here, for example, this is a good example here. Let's do this. Like, let's say that, right? Now, this is clearly price. This is clearly price, obviously grabbing liquidity, manipulation, whatever you guys want to call it. You know, there's different terms, but I would say this is more price grabbing liquidity. And why did we come up to this level? Because we can clearly see on the left that there was liquidity being grabbed over here. So this is why we came up. Now, again, you might have been in short positions, but again, you know, maybe we saw a position, because obviously this candle is, you know, a few 15-minute candles, a few 5-minute candles. So we could have got a long, actually. Price structure could have both bearish, bullish over here. We could have caught a nice, like, scalp position on here, grab liquidity over there, and, you know, saying, okay, cool, price is going to tap into this level, for example. You know, as you can see, that price tapped there perfectly, price tapped here. So we can clearly see that there's liquidity within this level. Now, we could have caught a long, like, let's say, you know, we jump on the 5-minute chart, just hypothetically over here, just to show you, like, an example of how two positions can contradict one another. So let's say, for example, you know, we caught the buy and we said to ourselves, okay, cool, we saw that, like, price pushed up, you know, closed above here. We saw the price closed above there, for example, and then we wanted to run these targets, capture this high, you know, stop loss maybe below here, just hypothetically, so that we can actually still get that long, and that long could definitely still play out, meaning that this can actually give you another entry on a short. So let's say you close here, you close your long, and you find out, okay, cool, this is just manipulation, or this is just price grabbing liquidity, and then you can maybe even enter another short position, because on the swing trading, your bias overall is still short. So you managed to get not only, let's say, one entry, which wasn't, let's say, the perfect entry, but you managed to capture another entry, you know, let's say at a better price point now. So this increases your risk to reward. So in that sense, it's also great. But make sure whenever you enter a position on, let's say, whenever you enter a position, if you're going to enter, let's say, two positions, make sure your risk is the same, you know, because at the same time, you know, we could have that contradict position, but at the same time, let's say you're risking 1% on the long, 1% on the short. Now, if you even want to do, like, let's say you see two positions that pop up and you want to split it, like, let's say 0.5% here on the first entry, let's say we're taking this long, right? 0.5% over here and 0.5% over here. Overall, you're still risking 1% on the trade. Now, I'm just speaking in general terms, like maybe you guys risk 2%, maybe you guys risk 3%, completely normal. I'm just speaking on general terms. So that's how I would do it. You can even split up your position into 2 or 3 and capture a much better risk to reward, you know, overall. So that's why we definitely can see, you know, say a buy and a short. So that's, I hope that answers your question. I think it was Michelle. I hope that answered your question, if that makes sense. Let me know if that's all clear. Obviously, I'm not using the same eurusd that you spoke about. I just spoke about it on a general term. Cool. So overall, sorry, to get back to your part on here, you said you're looking for a short. I agree that there is a shorting opportunity. Again, that we are building volume to the downside. Let me just have a look at this. Look at some key levels over here. I'm short. Let me just see if we find any key levels here. So that's nice over there. So you can see that, like, this was a level of support, now acting as a level of resistance. So you can clearly see that we close in below this, which means that there's a potential that the structure is going to change on, let's say, the 4 hour. Because again, we close below here, and we haven't quite closed below here. So again, we grab liquidity within these levels. So this is what this again on the daily, this is what I was being cautious about, right? This is what like the level I was being cautious about. We didn't quite tap into this level. We didn't quite fill this range over here. So at the same time, again, you could be 100% right on this trade. We could actually still come down, tap into these levels. And what we can see is, let me just get my tool. So again, what you see in price do now, obviously had a strong rejection to the downside, bounced back up, came back down, bounced back up, bounced back down, bounced again. So again, at any point, this can just reject, right? So 100% correct on that. I'd have no doubts about that. I'm just trying to see where exactly, like if I had to take a position on this, what would be the ideal position? So like, let's say we enter there, you know, based off, you know, we're going to bounce off the respected levels. You know, I would say maybe price doesn't come here. We can target these levels all the way down. So this would be like, let's say a nice 1.77 risk to reward. So almost nearly a 2R on this trade. So I would be pretty comfortable with that. Like in terms of taking a trade. Again, when I go live, I like to look for more scalp positions. If I'm going to be looking for a swing position, it might take hours or days to play out. So you guys don't actually get to see, you know, unless you're in the VIP group or unless you're in the free group or in the swing trading group, you guys will not get to see the updates on the trade itself. So again, I like to, if I'm in a trade, obviously we don't always get a trade when we trade live because, you know, we can't force a position, we can't force an entry. But at the same time, you know, I like to always get like a trade that plays out relatively quickly. You guys, we're in the position together. You guys can understand my thought process and my mental state throughout the trade. And, you know, sometimes it just helps you keep a better clarity while being in the setup as well. Because a swing trade can take hours. It can take days to play out. Remember, weeks. I've seen swing trades like this 4-hour move. We might just do this, right? For like, let's say, Azark has a really, really good plan here, right? He's in a short right now, and that's great. He could be 100% right. But for all we know, price could just do this, consolidate for the next 2 weeks. So, like, again, great trade, but then again, we might bounce down. Like, again, great trade, but again, it's not fair for the people that's watching. Like, if you want to get access to my swing group and you want to get access to my VIP groups, then we can update you along these trades, you know, to be a bit more fair and you guys will understand. But again, I might not be able to be with you guys on this live, you know, when the trade's actually playing out. Again, you guys might not get daily updates or, you know, every minute update or what's happening with the trade. So that's why I prefer not to take swing trade setups on while I'm trading live. We can have a nice idea. Like, again, this is a great idea. No doubt about that. I would take this trade personally myself. Oh, excuse me. So I hope that helps you understand, especially I think Halzak was asking me, and he said, he actually had a good point. He said, I don't enter my trades on the 4-hour time frame. I enter on the 15 minutes. And thanks again for the analysis. That's absolutely no problem. Again, I agree. So obviously Hazak used logic, and what he did was, okay, he's going to find his bias. He found out that, you know, price closed below here. So he found that, okay, cool. We know that there's a potential price structure reversal. And he was like, okay, cool. Now, what he wants to do is he wants to break it down in the 50 minute because he maybe wants to get a cleaner, better entry. Because obviously on the 4-hour, we can see that there's nothing much happening. So if he entered, let's say at this point, he said he entered at 183.66. So he's currently sitting in around 300 points profit, which is great because currently the price is sitting at 183.323, whatever the price is right now. So he's currently sitting in a nice bit of profit, and I'm not sure where his final target is going to be. Realistically, if I was to target this position, I'll probably target down here, and, you know, safe stop loss I would say would be up here, you know, because if we tap into these levels, you know, we could just come up, grab a top wick, grab liquidity, especially that we saw a high demand in volume over here. So price could come up here, and if we break above here, we know at any moment this price can just reverse and continue to the upside. So this would be my plan to take this trade, and that's what I would be looking for. So I hope that helps, brother. I hope that helps. All right, let's get on to Hazak's go. Really apologize. I really apologize. Where are you from? I think we have a lot of women on the streams today. That's very good. It's very rare that we have. I respect it. I love it. I'd love to see the woman making peace. Very good. All right. Sorry that I got Michelle's name, and that's a girl, and Hazak's also a girl. It's not really a good start for me. You know, I do apologize. I hope everyone's. I just came back from a very long, like 2 days, so my head's just a bit, you know. Yeah, it has just been a heavy 2 days so far, and drove back early this morning, like 6:45. Yeah, driving back from Abu Dhabi, it was quite a little experience. So just forgive me. I might look a little bit tired, but I never fell to sharp for everyone. All right, let's have a look at what's happening on your favorite pair, guys. Gold. I know everyone loves the gold, you know. Thank you very much. Turkish living in the Netherlands. That's very cool. I was just in Rotterdam over Christmas. So if you were there as well, you would understand it was freezing. It was snowing. And for me personally, I've only seen snow twice in my life. Three times in my life. So for me, I was like literally a little kid. Like if you were in my group, I was like, oh, what's up, guys? It's snowing. And some people that live in the snow, they're like, it's just snowing, bro. Like, but I'm like, yeah. Every time I see snow, I get excited. You know, I get that little inner kid comes out. But yeah, let me see if I answered all the questions. Seen the chats pop in quite a bit. Right, sweet. Adam has a question. When moving stop loss to break even on USD CAD, then getting stopped out, is the trade still valid and making a lower entry? So again, if we say in the group, right, you know, the price moves quite far away. Again, some of the positions, why we move our stop loss quite aggressively, let's say on certain positions, is because the fact that, you know, we might have caught a position on a breakout. You know, for example, if you catch a position on a breakout, you know, we understand that, you know, price is going to move quick, right? So instead of trying to capture the whole position, you know, we move our stop loss to break even, minimize the loss, or minimize, you know, let's say minimize the, you know, let my brain just rewire and, you know, get functioning. So if we move it quite aggressively, like the stop loss, like move stop loss break even, you know, it's at TP1 and TP2, it's because, you know, we find a breakout in the market, or we find that price is moving quite aggressively, and we want to position ourselves. We don't want to minimize, we don't want to risk ourselves losing money on that trade, because we were in the right direction. But again, at the same time, remember what I speak about, this might just be, let's say, a bottom wick, or it might just be a top wick, and price might just aggressively reverse, and then we get stopped out and lose the full position. So again, we send multiple trades every single day, and the reason because of that is, you know, that you have multiple entries. That's why we say we can't always get the perfect entry, the perfect setup, but again, we can always manage and secure our balance. You know, that's what we're trying to do, preserve our capital. At the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to trade conservatively, and we're trying to trade smart, you know. So again, we're not always trying to catch a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, a 1 to 4. Like, if you guys listen to this, all these gurus and these guys talking like, oh, I need to always catch a like 1 to 16 risk reward, bro. It's like, it doesn't exist, bro. Like, bro, like, no. Any good trader will tell you, if he's trading consistently and he's getting a 1 to 1 and his win rate is above 50%, he's profitable. It's that crazy. Just think about that statistic. If you traded a 1 to 1 risk reward, only 1 to 1, right? Nothing else, not even 1 to 2, not even 1.15, nothing. If you're trading 1 to 1 and your win rate is higher than 50%, and you win, like you take the full position, so you run the trade 1 to 1, 1 to 1, regardless if it's a win or a loss, and your win rate is above 51%, you are profitable. Like, let that sink in. That's a crazy statistic, right? And a lot of people say, oh, you need a 70%, you need a 60%, you need a 80%. You don't. You just need a over 50% win rate, and you are profitable. You are in the top 3 or 4% of traders. So it's that. It really becomes that simple once you start to use a bit of logic, you know. There's a few questions. Wolf Alpha X from Poland. I assume it's pretty cold there. That's just coming up a bias. I've never been to Poland. Michelle said, thanks. I get what you mean. Maybe later you could help me understand. The Euro USD long stop loss is 1.1900, but the TP2 of the shorts is just under that, meaning that, just under that, meaning that the short is to hit TP2, TP3, and TP4. Yeah, let's just drop me a DM, and then we'll run through that properly, you know, because I don't quite have all the trades on my screen right now. Let's just see. It would need to get stopped out the longs first. Sorry if this is wasting your time again. No, absolutely no problem. That's good, because I need these types of questions. It really helps me understand where you guys are. You know, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys doing? You know, so 100%. I really admire these questions. It's very valid. It's very valid because it helps people understand what my group's about. It speaks openly and transparently of what we do. Again, I'm here just doing what I do, trading, showing you guys what I do, showing my setups, showing how I trade, and this is what really allows you to level up. So by you being open and honest with me and you telling me like what you're doing, how things going, if you have any questions or any doubts, this helps me level up, because at the end of the day, I'm a trader, but I've also just built a community. So at the same time, you know, I'm learning and I'm growing as a person in terms of community growth. You see, we can all learn in some sort of factors. And because again, I have 8 years in experience in trading, but I don't have 8 years experience in a community. So there's always things that I'm going to be improving on. There's always things that I'm going to be looking back on. So it's very important. It's very important, obviously, evolving as a, you know, as a person. So that's great. USD CAD has one more leg down. I think I am in also short on it yesterday's high. Would also appreciate your thoughts on USD CAD. All right, let's have a look at USD CAD. Nothing quite happening on gold just yet. We are on the 5-minute chart. We will break this down. I just want to see if I find anything juicy over here. So we do see that we have a breaking structure over here. So that's looking good. So at the moment, where we're currently trading on, so this was kind of just a liquidity grab over there, so that's, I'm not too phased about that. So currently we're trading in this range on the 5-minute chart. So again, what I'm thinking is, let me just pop one of these upper deckies in here. These keep me fueled up. Wait, what is this going to say? So the gold, let's just run through gold for a bit, and then I'll jump back to the USD CAD, if you don't mind. I just want to just jump through. Maybe we can possibly get an entry. So this is something I'm looking for. So let's have a look at this. So we're possibly looking for, I'd be looking for gold buys, not because of, you know, we are extremely bullish on gold, but because, you know, price structure is looking quite clean right now. I'm just checking something here. So you can see that price is pushing down quite aggressively on gold right now. We came back at the start of the session. Let me just check here. 37 5437. Stop loss will be quite low down. 37. Because I'm finding a nice little, you said, finding a nice little position here. Quite a big position, especially on a 5 minute. Just something I want to have a look at. Look at my. Let's have a look at something like this potentially, because we are coming back down here. I'm just looking at where would be, because I feel like we're going to refill and re-tap into this range, but I'm trying to see like where would be a nice stop loss, you know. You see, that's looking like a negative risk reward, so not quite keen on that just yet. Where would be another ideal stop loss for see, stop loss? The problem is with this is that yes, it is great, but at the same time, let me just get back to my YouTube section quickly. It's when I'm locked in here, guys. I just need to just obviously look for position. We're not in a position just yet. I'm potentially looking for a gold buy. The only reason why, now we're coming back lower here, so we could actually get a better entry. It's going to be quite a bigger position. This is going to be a bit of a 1-to-1. All right, I think I'm going to enter on this. 4, 6. Yeah, that's a good comfortable position. Yeah, I'm going to enter a buy here, guys. Entering a buy on gold round. We've got a bit of a 1-to-1 going. I'll give you the exact analysis over this. It's just my thought process over this. Let me give my exact entry. I haven't entered just yet. I'll give you my exact entry. I need to send it to the group as well. Let me just send this. Give me 1 second, please, guys. Let's update the group. All right, we're going to send now the trade to the group. But currently in gold buys, copy. I'll give you all the TPs now and stuff. Just if you want to enter this position, you have your stop loss and your take profit over there. Entry would be around 5. I think we got in at 5516, 556, and TP1 would be, I'd say TP1 would be around here, break of high, so let's say 3, 4, 3, 4 would be good. 5, 5, 5, 3, 4, and then TP2 I'd say is comfortable over here. 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, and final TP would be at the top over here. We could run this position as well. 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 5, 8, 7. Stop loss is 5, 5, 4, 4, 6. 2, 5, 5, 1, 8. All right, cool, nice. That's cool. That's awesome. Let me just check everything here. MetaTrader. Bam, bam, bam. Now we're in gold buys at the moment. Perfect. All right, grand. So managed to enter the position now. And again, obviously this is a, let me just get back to the YouTube comments quickly. I need to get this all set up properly, guys. It's gonna be, I'm just gonna be updating you guys with, now again, guys, this is a 1-to-1. So yes, it might look big, but again, it's on a 5-minute chart. Again, obviously the price move is quite far down, the price move is quite far up, but this was the most ideal stop loss where I can put, because at the moment we are in a very volatile market in terms of gold. So at any moment we can understand, we can come back down, re-tap into this level before coming back up. That's perfectly fine. We might even get another entry down here, at the 50% mark. That's also perfectly normal. But that's pretty much what we're looking for. So again, if you are in this trade, make sure to, obviously, risk management is key. We haven't lost a single trade on streaming, but again, it can happen. It can happen. We're not going to manifest that it's going to happen, but it can happen. 100%. I'm not 100% win rate. I never will claim that I am, because I'm not. So it's very important, to obviously understand that. So if you're in this trade, you're risking, let's say, $50 on this trade, you can make $50. Risking 100, you can make 100. So let's keep the risk management proper in this trade. It is a big position. It's quite a lot of pips down. Don't over risk on this trade, because this is obviously it is like a 700 pip stop loss to 700 pip gain. And again, once we're in this position now, we could always extend our TP up, and we could also rally this up to, let's say, a 1.2, a 1.3, breaking new highs again. So this is what we're looking for, and this is how we can obviously capture those, let's say, higher risk rewards on this. I will get to all the questions now. I just want to fully break down this trade. I want to give in my TPs where I set as well. Losing is part of the game. It's an important thing is to manage, of course, 100%. The longer you can stay in the game, the better it'll be. Let's just put in our TP levels, exactly what I said to my group. So you guys obviously want to get access to the VIP signals. I send this to the VIP group because I feel like if I send it to the free group, it's a bit unfair because, you know, obviously you need to be here to watch me, you know, be here to support me, and then you guys get access in real time on the trade itself. And then if you want to get access to the VIP groups, you know, I just sent it obviously now. There's transparent, sent the trade directly to the group, and you guys obviously get it first hand, exactly on the entry, exactly on the point. So we got in around like 5516, so you know 0.6, so up around 10 pips profit, nothing crazy just yet. But again, like I said, I send the trades, I send the signals, I trade myself, everything transparent. I'm showing for you guys real time. But yeah, I think it's a bit unfair. You know, you guys are coming on here, devoting your time, spending your time showing me, so you guys get the trade, and you know, the people in the, obviously that's in the VIP group get the trade as well, because it's only fair, because some people don't have time to watch, which is completely normal. But I do think you need to put in a bit of effort. You know, that's a thing called life. You know, you get what you give, you know. So you support me, you get free value. If you don't, you don't. I just want to mark up my 3 TP levels. 3, 4, it was exactly like 3, 4, somewhere here. TP1. Don't worry guys, like I'm using a trackpad right now, so it's like a bit hard to, you know, do everything, so my drawings would look a bit ugly and stuff like that. But just understand that I am going to be going back to an office, like with all the lads. It's going to be quite a good crack. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to also do a little text box as well, so that you guys can see it clearer. So XAU long entry. I'm going to get everything smoother and everything looking a little bit more nicer in the future. Don't worry about it. This is just like for now while I'm working on my laptop. Entry was 5.5. It's so crazy what the price is of gold. Like it actually makes me like, damn, like I can't believe gold price is at 0.6. We can just say point, like I think people got in around, because I think we dipped down a little bit before it went down, so we just say that for now. TP, because when I sent it to the group, it was around 5516. We're going to move this to 6. TP1 is going to be 5534. TP2 is going to be 55554, yeah, 554, yeah. And then TP3 is going to be it's going to be 5588. And this is where we're at the moment. 0.6, you know, to get that nice little risk. Let me just get back to the comments if there's any questions. Should learn scalp from you. Yeah, just tune in on the lives. You'll be able to get access. I mean, well, just tune on the lives. A lot of the times I'm scalping on the lives, so this is what we come down to. Again, we saw that price obviously started to reject bearish, and again, this is fine. Now, again, what we can do is, remember what I spoke about, the key aspect about, you know, using risk management, right? So if we risk, let's say on the first entry, we could have risked 0.5%. And then again, we could have risked, or let's say overall you're risking 2% on this trade, we could have another entry as well. So let's say at the 50% mark, let's do this. So we could have a nice little entry exactly at the 50% mark over there. So we have 2 entries on this trade, and this is how I trade, guys. This is how personally I trade. If I'm trading, especially a scalp position, on a swinger position, you know, I generally, you know, have my trades out for longer. But we could have 2 separate entries over here, and I'd be happy with this, because what you guys can do as well, when you trade in as well, a smart way to trade is obviously very key, because you know, we can't always assume that we're going to get that perfect wick entry, that perfect sniper entry, you know, and we always got to position ourselves. Where is this little tool? Oh yeah, okay. Price notes. price level. Here we go. This will help a bit clearer. That's that. So we entered at about 5.6. I'll just fix that, make it a little bit better. Let's do this at 5.6. That's cool. And let's do this, fix this at 5.6 at the entry to get that on a nice. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's good. It's looking hot. It's looking hot. Okay, that's our second entry around about 8.1. Let's pin it on there. And again, our stop loss is here at 5.44. No. I didn't put my stop loss at the thing. What was our stop loss? Let me just confirm that. 5.46. Yeah, perfect. All right, that's grand. Okay, cool. So again, why you can take oh, sorry, my throat. Let me just have a sip of water. Now, yo, my throat's very dry. It's because it's AC's on. Anyways, why it's important to obviously position yourself carefully. This is how very profitable traders and big traders in the markets, you know, tend to capture crazy risk to rewards, or very much good risk rewards, because there's one rule, guys. It's about being patient. It's about being understanding. It's about being, you know, understanding logic, right? It's understanding probability, because at the end of the day, right, let's just do this, the path tool, right? Let's say we got in that year, great, and then price goes up, boom, you know, minimum drawdown, great trade, perfect. But what's the ideals? What's the probability of that? It's quite low, right? The chances of us coming down first before coming back up, you know, because we might not get that perfect entry. So the chance of coming lower first, right, potentially grabbing our second entry, right? So it could come down, tap into these levels, and then spike back up, and that would be perfectly normal. And what a lot of people don't understand is, a lot of people get, you know, always a bit skeptical. They get a bit worried, for example, because price goes into drawdown. And why people panic in drawdown is because they've used too much leverage, or they use too much risk, right? And this is what causes them to close their positions early and, you know, fail the trade. And you, let's say, oh, but I went down and then, but you over-risked. You over-risked. You over-risked on the trade overall. You know what I mean? So at the same time, use logic. You know, say, okay, cool. If price comes down here, I'm not only going to get a second better entry, but this increases my risk reward. That's a 3R. So 1R plus 3R equals 4R. So if you're risking, let's say $100, let's say $100 total on this trade, right? Let's say you're risking $100. Let's say you're risking $50, $50, and let's say you get both entries. You're going to make $400. You risked 100 overall, but you're going to make 400. Now that's looking a lot better. But now let's say you risk like only $50, or let's say you risk $100 on this first entry, and then you make this. You obviously just make $100. But if you can position yourself and try and get in at a better point, and understand, okay, cool, you know, I might get a better entry. This will give me a better risk reward. Does this make sense to you guys? Like what I'm doing and why we look for 2 entries? If it all makes sense. Crypto King. What's up, Crypto King? What's happening in the crypto markets, brother? Give us some trades there, bro. Nice signal for the gold. What do you see on USD CAD? USD is dying this week. I will have a look at that now. As long as everyone has, does anyone have any questions regarding the gold trade, regarding the setup? We are in a bit of profit at the moment. We peaked at like, what is that? We peaked at around, let's say around almost 100 pips on this trade, just less than 100 pips, 90 pips on this trade. So, so far so good. If anyone has any questions on this trade, on the setup, you know, let me know if I didn't explain something clear. I think I made it pretty clear. I even drew everything very nicely. So, you know, if you want, take a screenshot, take a picture as well. Send me the picture and be like, Luke, you know, I would have entered here, I would have done this, I would have looked for this, and we can talk about it, you know. So, yeah. Let's go to USD CAD. Was it? Just double check. USD CAD. USD is dying this week. So the funny part is, I called a big swing trade on USD CAD. I think we got stopped down on that. It was a swing trade idea, and it was a very valid idea. But the problem with that was, it was like, I think we got stopped. It was so stupid, that trade, because it was a perfect head and shoulders pattern. Now again, I don't necessarily trade patterns, but again, a head and shoulders pattern obviously has some sort of meaning that, you know, price is obviously failing to respect. If you look at what a head and shoulders pattern actually means, and you break it down, it actually has a lot of value. It's not necessarily that it's a pattern that you follow patterns and you trade like that, but it actually has a reason behind it. Where is this USD CAD? Where's the USD CAD? Have I not added, or maybe I removed it because I cleaned up my charts recently. No, I've got it here somewhere. It should be on the blue. USD CAD. USD CAD, USD CAD. You guys can probably see it, and you're probably like, it's right there. Ah, here's it, yeah. Cool. All right, perfect. Damn. Molten, bruv. Molten. So yeah, I want to show you guys. It was actually on the daily, the USD CAD, I believe, the head and shoulders. Yeah, here we go. This is what we were looking for, but the problem with this was the second shoulder. This was actually the head, and this was the shoulder, and so this position would have played out perfectly if we waited a little bit longer. But again, you know, shit happens. So you see, this would have been your neckline. This would have come up. This would have been your shoulder. Would have come down to here. This would have been our head, and this would have been, well, technically, you know, the problem with this was, do you know what happened here? Do you know why this didn't work? It's because this happened, right? So we were assuming that, you know, this was going to be the second shoulder. This was going to be our head. So we took a point from here. Let me just do this. Do this. This would have been our shoulder. This would have been our head, which we called out, right, on the daily. And then this should have been, you know, our neckline, but we didn't come all the way down to there. And this should have been our right shoulder. But again, price started to push up, and I think we were looking at a right shoulder, like tapping into this left shoulder, but then we started to push aggressively above, and it broke above this head point. And that was the problem with this. So like, if we said that was our shoulder, you know, generally what happens after that, price tends to reject. So this would have been like a perfect head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, this would have been great. Like, this is what we called out. We knew on the daily on the USD CAD, it was looking bearish. But again, our timing was just a little bit off. But overall, we did understand. Again, I think it's a bit late now to enter. We're just pushing down. Again, when we start to push down very, very, very aggressively like this, right? Remember what I always say, drop down onto a higher time frame, because when you start to see price absolutely get smashed, don't look on a lower time frame, because you're going to get melted, right? Because at any moment, this is not hunting your 5-minute liquidity. It's not hunting your 15-minute liquidity. It's not hunting your 1 hour. It is targeting a daily or a 4 hour, something that's where there was a lot of liquidity being built. So if you look to the left now, where's price targeting? See, it smashed right through there, right? So where's price going to be looking next? Where was a lot of volume being built? Well, realistically, I would say, yeah. I would say over here. So I'd say price is hunting this zone, right? Price is hunting here. That's where price wants to come to, within this level here. So we're currently in this zone over here. You see a price is breaking below there. So we're going to currently come into this range, and price is going to move aggressively into that. So that's realistically what price is doing. Now again, obviously this is on a daily. It's on a daily time frame. Or gold just dumped. Damn. It's still okay. Not to worry. Maybe did we get our second entry? Let's see. Wait. Let me go to the 5-minute chart. No, I don't think we came down that deep. Okay, no, we're still good. We're still very good on this. Yeah, for price to come down, it's still going to come down quite a bit, so it's all good, all good, all good. Second entry is like 45481. I'm going to go back. I'm going to come back to the gold now. We're still good. We're only in 40 pips drawdown. It's nothing crazy, especially on, it's quite a bigger move, so it's all good. Let me just go back to the USD CAD because I was just explaining something there. USD. Why can I never find this? I know I'm like staring at it right at my screen, but I just USD CAD. There we go. So what I was saying there is, yeah. So what I was saying is, like, obviously when we look on the daily, for example, we can see there's a lot of volume being built up there, and price realistically is going to come down and tap into this next level of support, right? And this is what we're hunting. Now, when you look on, like, let's say 5 minutes, you know, we can't really look at a 5 minute because look at this volume. It's aggressive. So when you're trying to identify your levels, you know, you're trying to identify your support and resistance levels, or you're trying to identify, you know, key zones, order blocks, you know, supply and demand. You know, these become very invalidated, let's say on a lower time frame, when you start to see price like this, especially on a daily, like it's melting. You gotta use logic and say, where's price really gonna dump down to? Where's a safe spot, right? Cool. So that was pretty much that. You guys have any other charts you want me to run through? Just hit me up. Like I do enjoy obviously trading. It's my passion, bro. It's my passion. I love it, man. I love it. I love what I do. But let's just get this. I just want to make this look a little bit more sexier, you know, for the chat. You know, some people say it's very small, and I do apologize. What was I going to say now? Yeah, again, guys, let's just jump onto, while we're in this position as well, just run through the groups as well. So this trade was sent to the scalp group. So if you guys want to get access to the VIP group, make sure to drop me a DM. We'll get you set up in 10 to 15 minutes. And you also get access, obviously, to the swing trading group. So this is the LB Trading Club with over 3,000 members currently actively trading. So if you guys want to get access to these groups as well, you know, make sure to drop me a DM. You know, obviously it's nice to obviously watch me live, but if you want to capture like all the trades that you aren't able to capture or jump onto every single live trading session, make sure to obviously, you know, drop me a DM. Let's get you set up in the VIP group. It's completely for free, guys. So I don't charge anything. So if you guys want to do that, get started. And also, we also do have a crazy deposit bonus as well, running till the end of this month. So you actually got, today's the last day. No, well, today and tomorrow. So you have today and tomorrow. That's going to be the last day. So if you guys deposit as a new deposit, you'll get 150% deposit bonus. So let's say you deposit up to like $1,000, you'll get $1,500 extra. So your starting balance will be $2,500. And if you want to get, you know, if you are redepositing, we're doing a deposit bonus, which is very rare. I don't normally, you know, the brokers are very strict with redeposits. But if you do redeposits just till the end of this month, it's going to be 100%. So if you do deposit, like let's say $1,000, you'll get $1,000 as well. So your starting balance will be 2K. And then if you deposit up to $2,000, we're giving away a $10,000 prop challenge account to you. Damn, price is melting here at the moment. Let's see. Probably coming down and tap into these levels. That's where we have our second entry over here. Let's see what we're going to do. It's currently just melting at the moment. See, we do have another orders here, so it's always important just to have it in play. Again, it's not the worst thing for us to come down first. Again, at the same time, we're obviously building up, grabbing liquidity in certain zones in order for us to push back up, because again, we are in all-time high territory. So in order for price to go back up, we sometimes need to come down, and maybe we didn't get like let's say the perfect entry, but price needs to obviously come down first, grab that liquidity for us to continue shooting back up. I want to join, but the broker don't accept my phone number. I talked to you before on Telegram. Send me a message now, and just after this we'll get that sorted out. I don't think it will have an issue. Where, if you said you're from the Netherlands, right? I don't think phone number would be an issue. Is your phone number registered in another country, or? But it shouldn't be an issue. It's weird. We'll definitely look into that. I'll definitely look into that. Vantage. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. We'll definitely try and find a solution for you. No problem. No problem at all. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right. Where there's an LMB, there's a LMB. That doesn't make sense, but it's all right. All right, so price pushed down about 100 pips. So price sort of playing with us. It went up 100 pips, went down 100 pips. So we currently, what that means is, we again use logic, right? So we're currently in now 100 pip range, right? So in a mini range. So this is what I show people. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of source now, right now, eh? All right, listen up, listen up. This is only for the YouTube people, right? So I'll give you guys a little bit of source. So remember I speak about ranges, I speak about, you know, liquidity, I speak about this. Now understand, at the same time, if we're coming down, we're obviously creating a new smaller range, right? So obviously now we're pushing back down. Now we're coming into a smaller range, right? So here's another mini range over here. We saw that price, there was a bit of volume over here, and we see that price is obviously in here. So we're just in between that range now. So the price, we say that price is going to come potentially full up here, but our idea is that price is going to first tap into here before making its next move. But again, at the same time, we must understand that, you know, okay, cool, now we're in a 1 minute range now. Before we were in, let's say, a 5 minute range or a 15 minute range. Now we're in a 1 minute range. So again, now price is going to could bounce between here before making its next move and then come back down. And that's pretty much how you do it. You know, you just bounce between ranges. And that's pretty much how I trade gold. I play the ranges. And yeah, because generally once you come down, once you tap, you generally fill a certain level. Price needs to come down, tap into, let's say, you guys, you know, trade, let's say, support and resistance, supply and demand. Price comes down into a certain demand zone, a certain supply zone. But at the same time, what is it doing? It's tapping into certain ranges, right? So whatever makes more sense to you, whatever makes more sense for you to do. But that's pretty much a secret sauce that you guys can do. And now again, you guys can do this on any time frame. You guys can figure out, and this is how people get a bias on, let's say, a higher time frame, and they understand that price is moving, like, say, bearish, like we did the USD CAD. Let's say we did like a few different pairs. We understood that, like, I think the USD CAD was absolutely melting, right? That's where we look for the next nearest range where it's going to fill, right? Because price is going to come down. If there was a lot of volume previously in that area, we know that price is going to come back, you know, and potentially tap back into that area because that's where price had liquidity. So we're getting near to our break-even zone. We tap back into our break-even zone. So again, I hope you guys are using proper risk management. It's key point for me. You know, again, if you guys maybe got another entry there, that's great. We have our second entry over here, so price does want to come down that far. We sorted, we secured, but at the same time, you know, again, price could just rally up now. And again, if you did get a second entry over here, because I know some of you guys, you cheeky, I know what you guys do. Once price goes into drawdown, so you guys probably got like 20 entries over here. Don't worry, I'm speaking from experience. That's why I know how you guys are. Well, I know how everyone, most new people are. So you would have had a nice like 1.5 on that one if you got like a sniper entry. But I know how the new traders are, you know. That used to be me. That's why I'm speaking from experience. I'm not judging anyone. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't. So use that however you want. So who's all in this trade at the moment? I think that we've got a lot of people like actively trading today, which is cool, which is great. I really like it. I like to see everyone here. What was your entry as well, guys? If you managed to get, I use guys as a broad perspective. Don't worry to all the ladies in this call. I'm not only generally speaking to the guys. It's just a general term. What was your entry? Like, what did you get in at? Curious. Because when I said it was about 5516. So, or regardless, you would have been in. I'm waiting to go back to the level that it's just been to. So you waiting to get in again on this level. So 200 pips down. That's fine. 5501, great. Much better entry than me. Fair enough. Again, this is like it is quite a big move in terms of like what we're looking for. So again, you could have obviously got much better entries. 5501, 5514. Cool. So everyone's in profit. Everyone's happy. Everyone's making a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Nice to the people that got in at 5501. Obviously, we were looking at lower entries, but again, obviously, no regard, like no judging on obviously getting in here, because obviously would make sense, especially if you, because some people would put their stop loss here as well. Maybe some people aren't following exactly where my stop loss is. My laptop isn't even charging. Please don't die on me, bro. Please don't die on me, bro. That's weird. I need to find a charger. Just give me a second. Give me a second. I'm still here. I'm walking around here trying to find the charger, trying to find a plug point. Ah, here we go. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm gonna move my laptop. I'm gonna come sit on the sofa and relax while we absorbing some of the profits. You know what I mean? Right now you can see me close face up, just because I managed to find a charger. Is my charger just not working? Why would my charger not be working? I think it's maybe my cable that's not working. Let me see what's happening there. I need to fix this ASAP, because the problem is my battery will die, and that would be really bad. Just give me a second, guys. We're currently pushing up. Okay, let's see if this cable is going to work. I don't know if it's my cable or my... Nothing's working here. Do I have power? Yeah, I have lights. Yeah, lights. Why is nothing working here? Yeah, the math in here. Do I have to... where do we peak up to there? Wait. Oh, nearly at TP1. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay guys, you're gonna laugh now. We're gonna be trading from my kitchen. Alright, this is the new station over here. Alright, because this is the only plug point I have that's working. I think there's some sort of short circuit that happened. Let me grab a chair here. This is so bad. It's the most hillbilly thing I've ever done in my life. This. How do I look even? I need to see myself on the camera. It's gonna be so funny, right? Alright, so you can see my fridge in the back. You can see that there's some cupboards. So we're currently in a new setting over here. Like, you know, this is ridiculous, but anyways, we make it work. You see, wherever there's a LMB, there's a way. You know, I'm from South Africa. You know, we always make things work. This is the most funniest setup I think I've ever done. I'm literally in the kitchen next to my kitchen sink here. There's an espresso machine over here. Your espresso would actually be very good right now. I just moved into this place like a couple of weeks or a couple of days ago, so I don't think there's anything here. There's Cocoa Pops. It's a cooking show. Yeah, exactly. Welcome guys to the Allenby cooking show. How you guys doing today? So today we got some caviar on the menu. We got a little bit of sliced bread that we're gonna make into a gourmet meal. This bottle of water, we might make that into like a nice fondant, you know. And I'm just messing around, but this is crazy. Okay, get back to the trading. Get serious now. Okay, so we peaked up at. Let me just do this. Currently balancing my phone on the espresso machine. I'm in the most uncomfortable environment here, but it's okay. So we peaked up at lekker. Lekker. It's an African proverb. Everything is lekker, you know. We peaked up at around 150 pips so far on this trade. If you guys got in at that nice entry like 5501 and you guys took some profits there, that would have been also good, you know. I would have realistically done that because you guys obviously got one of the, like, could have got the wick entry. Again guys, now what are we doing? What is happening on price? What has just happened? Why is price coming back down now? Because we just fell in this range, right? Came back up, we're in this range, right? Until we break above and close above here, we might come back down and tap into here. So the person who got that 5501 entry might be able to, you know, come back down to entry, for example, before coming back up, unless we can be like, unless this is coming back down. But at the same time, we're creating this a range within a range. We're creating this a mini range now. When price goes like this, when price is going like this, you know what it's doing. It's, you know, excuse my finger movements, but you know, price is just consolidating, and what that's doing on low time frame, it's just making a range. That's all that's doing. I'm just gonna grab my water real quick. Okay, I'll find a pillow so I can sit on there. This will be like a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. Nice. You can tell, like, I haven't been in this apartment. Okay, all right, we're back. We're so back in the kitchen. Well, you know what? At least I have a nice view. I can see a couple of buildings, some cars on the road. Pretty chill. Where, mashallah, habibi. What's up, Tyrant? Hope you good, bro. Yeah, it's price action. Like I said, could come down, fill the range again. You know, we just bounce in between. Peaked at around 150 pips on this trade. Again, it was nice. Didn't quite tap into our TP1 level, which is a bit unfortunate. It's one of those things. So realistically, could come down, tap into this level. Again, all we're doing is just building up for the next move, you know. See if it's going to be aggressively down, if it's going to be aggressively up. We're just waiting for that next move. Like right now, all we're just doing is just bouncing between a range, and we're not making big moves. Again, this obviously is quite a big move. If you take it from down here to our peak, it was, you know, almost like 300 pips on that alone. So it's a pretty big move, you know, especially if you scalp it. Azos said, I gotta drop off. Thanks, Luke. Catch up next time. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you, and have a great day. Yeah, we'll manage this trade like accordingly. But generally, what happens is, if you guys tune in to my live streams, as soon as I go off, price does something. That's just literally what happens. So we'll maybe stay on until 6. We'll see what's happening on the price. Again, guys, if you want to get access to the VIP group, make sure to drop me a DM now. get it while we got 2 days left, today and tomorrow, so not even 2 full days, to get your deposit bonus. So new deposits get 150%, redeposits 100%. So get that while you still can. Then you get access to my swing group, my scalp group, and you get access to these trades every single day, about 2 to 5 of these winning trades every single day, guys. So make sure, if you want to do that, tune in, let me know, and just drop me a DM. Scan the QR code in the Telegram. You guys can go check. I think my Instagram's was there. Yeah, Instagram's was there. Go check me out. Go pop a like, pop a follow. Appreciate you. And if you guys are enjoying the video, if you guys are enjoying the educational side of things, make sure to like this video. It really helps the algorithm, and it shows that you guys you're my brain. Like I need to have a reset. It shows that you guys obviously enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm not just wasting my time. Anyone has any questions so far regarding the trade, regarding the setup? I think it was pretty straightforward entry. Hello bro, what strategy are you using? So it's smart money concepts, but it's a mixture, right? So like I trade ranges, I trade Fibonacci, I trade liquidity, and you know, on the side, on the occasions I can trade a trend line. I can also trade patterns as well. So it's a mixture between pretty much a lot of different things that work in conjunction with one another. You know, and I find a nice fine tune when I put all of them together, or you know, let's say use 2 out of the 3, or let's say I'm finding a supply and demand zone, or I'm using, let's say, support and resistance, or I'm just trading within a range. You know, I can use all of these and incorporate it into one, and this is what allows me to get like that entry, for example, because I understand, you know, okay, we have a breaking structure, we know that the bias is bullish, you know, let's continue the momentum, let's try and get an entry based on, let's say, current structure, you know, if the overall direction. So I break it down. Like now, obviously it's very hard to, you know, go on the higher time frames on gold because we're in all-time highs, so you don't get much past previous data. So we pretty much just have to use scalping strategies. We have to use scalp methods in order to get entries and exits. So yeah, generally when you have, let's say you're trading, let's say supply and demand, support and resistance, ranges as well. Oh, I want to sneeze all the time. I don't have something in here. Generally you have past data, like you can look back, you can look left, but obviously on gold you can't really look left. The only left that you can look right now is here. This is the furthest point you can look left. So yeah, pretty much just have to use scalping methods in order to trade gold right now. Again, if it follows up, if it aligns with my strategy, again, a lot of people would call me crazy shorting some positions, but again, this is what allowed me to level up my trading. It's because of the fact that, you know, I understood that, you know, yes, the bias might be bullish on the daily or on the 4 hour, but at the same time, you know, there is definitely, based on my strategy and based on the formula, there is still a shorting opportunity, and I take that regardless of the outcome, because I need to get, in order for you to have a profitable strategy, you need to go through the wins and the losses. So you miss every position that you don't take, right? And I know it's a general sense in saying this, but at the same time, it is true, because that short might have been a winning position, that long might have been a losing position. So then you actually end up losing money because your bias is long, but you lost money on the long, but you would have made money on the short. So now your strategy is a bit weird, because now you're like, but I didn't take that trade. Now I'm negative in my account. So like now I'm only going to be doing shorts. So you kind of just mess yourself up. So you got to take every position. If you have a strategy, you got to take every position that aligns with your strategy. You know, that's what helps you formulate and finds out, okay, is my strategy, is what I'm doing profitable in the long term, in the long run? You know, because that's the only way. You got to go through the wins, you got to go through the losses, because it helps you learn as well. You know, maybe I could have waited a bit longer. Maybe I could have just, you know, been a bit more patient, for example. Like again, I think we got in at a pretty good price point. We saw that we came down for a bottom wick over here, and we entered pretty much there. This obviously on a 15-minute time frame, this would have been just a bottom wick. We obviously continued to break down, so we were assuming that this was going to be a bottom wick for us to continue to drive back up. But again, we did come all the way down and tap into this level before obviously shooting back up. So obviously we're in between quite a big range at the moment in terms of being on a 5-minute, but overall we have a good stop loss. So this range is quite big. We haven't formulated, quite a big range right now, but we can see we bounce between these levels here, right? And before we have a break in structure, like until we have a structure break above here, anything can happen still. But yeah, basically between this levels, you're looking at what, around 300 pips, which again is quite big on 5 minutes, because generally people use, let's say for example, they would use like a smaller range on a 5 minute. They'll take like maybe like between like 10, 15, or like 20. They would use their stop loss as like 20 pips, 30 pips, or they would use a, like the range would be a lot smaller on a 5 minute. It's just that now we obviously are in, like, let's say a very aggressive market, prices are going crazy, and that's why we obviously just position ourselves accordingly. All right. So for those of you guys, I'm just curious, the ones that Michelle, the one that you got in at, oh, you didn't get in, Kale Suron, you got in at 5501. Did you take any profits once we hit here, or are you just holding? I'm just curious to know your thought process behind that when you obviously peaked at, let's say, almost what, like 300 pips. So you would have obviously made a nice bit of cash in that moment, because if not, like now there's a possibility we could come down to break even as well, could come down to your break even, I can say that. Because again guys, remember, we're in this mini range now. So again, what did I say? Probably if we tap down here, realistically we're gonna tap down here. So again, if we come down here, break below this low again, we could actually extend and grab another entry there. Could be another play. But let's see. Again, because if we can get in at this entry point, we obviously got a much better risk reward, and price obviously looking a lot more hotter. Again, if we get in like down here, the only doubt is that, like, let's say price does start to reject, it does start to push down. Let's say we take it from here, we target this low here that we just created, same stop loss. It's only about 1.6, so it's nothing too crazy. It obviously is nice, but like again, it's nothing too crazy in terms of, like, if we get down to here, then we got a nice like 3R on this trade. This would be nice. Did you guys manage to get like a few entries coming back down? Like, I know you got 5501. Did anyone get like any other low entries? Did anyone enter a second entry? Because I didn't. I'm just asking in general sense. Alright, let's see what price is going to do. Maybe stay on for like another 15 minutes, like 6:15. Might jump off. And then I'll be updating you guys in the VIP group. And you guys have the levels as well now. So, we see how this trade plays out. But generally what happens is, like, I'm not even joking. Every time I've gone off stream, like, every time I'm like, oh guys, I'm going off. Like, not even joking, like 3 minutes later or 4 minutes later, it hits our take profit. And I'm like, I didn't get to celebrate with everyone. I didn't get, like, we sat for like an hour waiting for the position to play out. And we just, like, literally nothing was happening. And as soon as I leave, all the hype, then everyone's messaging me, I did TP, bro, TP2, TP3. And I'm like, bro, like, it's always cool to celebrate with everyone else, Got in at 5509. Very nice. Very good. It was quite a little push down. Like, I wouldn't doubt that. Again, I'm very strict in my entries. I don't FOMO in. I don't do anything that doesn't align with what I'm going to be doing. So I'd never like to say something and then not do it. It's like anything in life. Like, if I say something, I'm going to do it, regardless of what's happening, because that's what helps you formulate, and that's what helps you give a better clarity on your strategy and your mindset. But again, if you got in a better entry, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're making money. You guys are up. You guys are well up in profits. Like, now we're even in this profit. So you guys got in a better entry. You're well up in profits already. So, like, there's literally nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that you know, I like to just strictly stick to what I'm going to say, and I'm going to do that. So price action pretty boring. We did have some chop, like we did have some like nice movements, but again, this was like, it's a bit of a swing trade in a scalp position, you know, like obviously it's on the 5 minute, but it is still quite a generally like quite a big move overall, you know. But again, like when we look over here, you see we obviously create a new, so this was obviously the highest of highs, came down, created a high low, higher high, or like a higher low, came back down. Now you're creating a new structure, and this would technically be your new higher low, because this could just be like, you know, what price could be doing over here. Let me just check this. Yeah, sometimes I come from my path tool. So you look at like the overall structure, right? Like obviously we came up there, came back down, created a high low, tapped there, respected that perfectly, came back down, came back here. This could just be your new high low, you know, could come back down, and we could come back down here, and then we could come back up. Now again, that's what price could be doing. So this could be just creating a new higher low, in order for us to continue driving. Ooh. So it's down for another, let's say, I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I'll stay on for like another 13 minutes. And then I'll update you guys in the VIP group, and you guys have these levels, so just keep them strict. And you know, obviously we're at a break-even point. If you want to get out now, if you want to close, you know, just before I'm going to end, whatever, if you feel more comfortable doing that, 100% do that. I'll hold this position right down, depending if we win or lose, because that's just what we do. That's what we do. There's a lot of volume. I wonder if there's any news. It's like it's quite choppy at the moment. Okay, we did have unemployment claims. That's probably why there was a bit of volume. That's probably why we pushed down at 5:30. Wait, let's go check that. I'm gonna assume that's what caused that. Let's have a look. What time was this? Oh, my time zone's wrong. Wait, 1 second. Gotta update. Just been traveling so much. It's like trying to keep up. The time zone will be +4 Dubai. There we go. Yeah, you see that was the news scandal, so that's why we pushed down. So we could have been actually a bit more patient and wait for that news scandal, news folder to come out. Again, I didn't trade news, but we should have been paying attention to that. That's what obviously causes this red folder to us to continue pushing down. And we have at 7 p.m. so in the next hour we have 2 yellow folders, which shouldn't necessarily significantly impact the price. So we'll be too alerted on that. We're in the trade, looking good. Like break even, good, even break good, something like that. I'm wondering, okay guys, if you can suggest something for me to eat, like what would you suggest? Like don't be boring and so like burgers and pizzas and stuff, just like something good, something unique. I can pretty much order anything, so like be creative, like Chinese, Japanese. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. Alright, it's down for like 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, so we peaked up at this, you know, 5531. Again, it was quite a big push up. Let's see. Again, guys, for the new guys that just joined, this was a signal that was sent to my VIP group. So you want to get access to that and capture this, the exact entry and the price points, make sure to drop me a DM. We are also still running a deposit bonus of 150% to new deposits. And if you are redepositing, you get 100%, which is very rare. So if you obviously want to start off at a bigger balance, you know, join now, you know, DM me right now. Biryani, that's actually not a bad idea. I like that. I like this. Katsudon. What is katsudon? I don't actually know what that is. Biryani. Biryani might be a play. Like, yo, I haven't had biryani in ages, bro. That's actually quite a good one. Now, I like King Juggy, bro. He's thinking outside the box, bro. That caught me off guard, bro. I didn't expect that. I like that. Who's this guy? I don't know. This guy is probably get muted. Japanese food, fried chicken on top of rice. Oh, it must sound so good right now. Like some dumplings and some like wontons and like maybe a soup. Usually scrambled eggs and onions. Oh, that sounds so good. I think I'm gonna go for that. It's either between biryani or Japanese. You guys have me on those two. That's katsudon. Okay. I think I know. I obviously know what it is. I just didn't know what the word was. So I learned something new today. That's great. So what we want to see price do. Enough about the food talk. I know we're in the kitchen. All right. There's nothing going to be cooked up in here besides the charting. All right. But we're going to be ordering. Lazy guy. It's just that I moved into a new apartment. Like I don't have my tools. I don't have my thingy. So we're just gonna order. Keep it easy. Keep it breezy. All right. So we're pushing up again. Can we push up? Close above this level. And potentially hit our take profit. Bum. Push, baby. Push. Got to blow on it, bro. And bam, smash the TP1, bro. That's how we do. Smash the TP1, guys. That's great. Nice. Let me just update the group. Everyone's eating today. All right, copy that. Damn, that person who caught the 5501. Yo, that guy must be laughing right now. Unless it's a woman. Sorry, I don't know. Whoever caught that must be like, damn. What a position, bro. Maybe I have to get some trades off you there. You know what I mean? 5534. And that is a massive push, actually. So we managed to catch 20... 18. 1000. Cool. Damn, this is sexy. I'll get a W in the chat. All right, let's just give the FOMO to the group now because the people aren't here. Damn, that sucks. So guys, we're currently in this setup because I only found a plug point. So we're currently trading in my kitchen, because this was the only plug point that worked. I don't know what happened while I was away, but there's just something happened with electricity. But just have a look how funny this is. It's not only funny, but everyone has made profit while being on the live stream. Just had another successful trade. Already smashed the TP1, literally while trading live on YouTube. So for you guys who missed this, you missed firstly me chefing up. And I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about the charts, and yeah, you just missed out on free profits. That simple. So again, got in at a good price. It dipped down, went into a little bit of drawdown, but we managed to capture a good position. The entry was valid and everything was good. So for the people who are still on the live stream, much love, much appreciation, and patience always plays. Remember, I was going to jump up at 6, and look what happened. 10 minutes later, we hit TP1. That's always what happens. Oh shit, wait. Oh, I sent it to the wrong group. Damn. I gotta send another message, right? www. Let's go. Get this guy out of here. Who's this Smithless guy? Get out of here, man. Get out of here with some spam in my chat, bro. You're annoying. I don't know what he's doing. I gotta send another one. I sent it to the wrong group. So what's up, everyone? As you can see, the background is looking a little bit different right now, right? We're in the kitchen. Why? Because we're cooking up not only food, well, I'm not cooking any food, but we cooked up literally a live trade while being on YouTube. We already smashed the TP number one. Have a look at this. Smashed the TP number one. Perfect entry. Well, came down a little bit into drawdown. Some people got a second entry, which was great. And we're doing this actually just live trading on YouTube. So if you guys want to get access to this, just click the link. It's completely free. You guys get access to these trades, these setups in real time. Now, for everyone who's caught this position, well done. And I appreciate you all that actually tuned in and stayed with me on the stream for as long as it did. We have been on for quite a while, about over an hour and a half, but patience always pays. All right, let me get back to the chats. Love to see it. Love to see it. How do I mute this guy, bro? He's really annoying. Wait, let me report this, dude. Report. Yeah. Unwanted spam. Yeah. All right. Cool. Just reported that, dude. I don't know who is he. He's trying to come sniper. He's trying to come sniper trades, bro. I don't know what he's trying to do. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, bro. Shameless plug in. This is bad, bro. Like, you know, like I'm used to like, you know, the high life, and now I'm just like, I don't even know where I am, in the middle of a kitchen, bro. Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm humble. All right. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm transparent. I'm open with you guys. I'm open with everything I do. Like most people wouldn't come and put their laptop in their kitchen and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a stream from here because their pride's too high, right? They'll be like, oh no, I want people to see my kitchen. Like, I didn't really care. What's the most important thing about this is now we're getting value. So it doesn't matter where I am, we managed to capture a trade and made money. I can be in my kitchen. That's what I'm telling you guys. I can be in my kitchen. I can be on the plane. I can be in the airport. I can be anywhere. As long as I have my phone, my laptop for a bit of charting, we Gucci. All right, I see a lot of W's in the chat. I love to see it. Did anyone close? Anyone close the position? How are you guys managing this position? Are you guys looking at like, you know, I'm up $5,000 or $6,000 on this trade, which is great. But again, not comparing. Everyone is at their own pace. Everyone's at their own journey. Let's check. So it's later. Yo, I'm cooking here. It's actually really hot. Let me just do something. So at this point, what do I want to do? Give me a second. No, like if you're trading conservatively on this, like you could move your stop loss to break even, because again we have moved quite a bit from entry. So logically what I would do, because this is a bigger position, I would personally, you know, like obviously start managing this trade correctly, because again, you know, there is a big stop loss, there is a big take profit, but it's still a 1-to-1, so we're still fine. But like we have moved already, like what we peaked at, we almost peaked at, what's it called? Yeah, almost 260 pips, like let's say hypothetically, 240 pips. It's already moved quite a lot, you know. I got a question. After you hit TP1, do you set to break even? So I tell my members to generally do that, you know, just because, you know, if they, let's say, because some of you will trade with, like, let's say bigger lot sizes, you will trade with bigger sizes, and hypothetically if you traded with a one lot here, you would have been up like 2.6k on this trade alone. 0.1 you would have been up like $260, and so on and so forth. So like I know that a lot of people are a little bit cheeky, you know, they don't use proper risk management. So I always say to people, you know, if you trading conservatively and you want to be, you know, smart about this position, and let's say you didn't take proper risk management, you know, move stop loss to break even, because you are taking another risk. Because at the end of the day, let's say you're risking way too much on this trade, and then we do come back down and we smash here, right? You know, then again you lose the trade instead of just taking the profits here, or, you know, closing a little bit here, you know, and moving stop loss break even. So there's different ways you can go about it, you know. Do you set a lot size on TP1 compared to other TPs? Do you set a different lot size on TP1? No, my lot size will all be the same. Lot size will all be the same, yeah. But what I tend to do, like let's say I take a big lot size, you can always close a partial of the position. So you can close maybe one lot and then gradually build down, or you can close like a portion of your lot. That's also another way that you can do it. So it doesn't really matter if you have, let's say, 3 lots. Let's say 3 lots is obviously a lot, okay, depending on your account size. But like let's say you have 3 lots in 3 lots, but then you close 3 at TP1, or like let's say you close 3 at TP1. It's the same as you holding 9 lots and closing 3 at TP2. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. So it's the same as having 9 lots at the entry and then closing 3 lots at TP1. Then you still trade 6 lots. So you can also do that as well. So it doesn't really matter. My lot size will always be the same, and then I always manually just like check and close the lots accordingly, you know, if I need to. But that's pretty much what I would do, yeah. Did that answer your question there, Adam? One second, I'll be right back. I need to order some food. Yes, sir. Roger that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna order some food while we're in this position still. Feel free to jump off, guys, if you got some value from this. Please smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, it helps with the algorithm. What did Michelle said? She said some Japanese. Japanese goes hard, eh? My word. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see what the audio. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad actually. Just gonna keep my hands out the cookie jar. Wasting time for me. Alright, Ding time. Oh, it's gonna take 40 minutes to run. It's quite a while, but it's alright. Perfect. Beef chow mein and hot and sour soup. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Yo, it didn't take so long, man. What's up with that? Should order like an hour ago. Been probably a better, smart idea. But it's cool. Alright guys, I'll stay on for another 10 minutes. If you're in the VIP group, I'll be updating you guys there, that side. Guys, if any more questions, any charts that you want me to run through just before I jump off. See what's happening here in the chat. What up, chat? US session starts in 9 minutes. I'm not scared, bro. Fearless in terms of the market. Yeah, it's all good. like I said, I don't necessarily like trade news. Like I like, the only reason why people trade sessions is because of volume. Like they know that, okay, if I enter position, they don't have to wait long because, you know, generally it can play out, you know, that's why. But like you can see a setup at like 5 in the morning and it can still play out, you know, so it doesn't really affect me, unless obviously some session comes on, it's like world's ending, this is happening, gold's gonna collapse, and obviously that's obviously gonna drastically affect my thing. But your entry might not retrace to the IFVG, might do a runner to TP because DXY books, I'm trying to read, it looks really bearish. That should stop once. Yeah. Let me see something here. Yeah, I know. For crypto, of course, we also do have a crypto group. So if you want to get in on that, I do also send crypto signals as well. Let me check something here. Like that. Then like that. Do you get a view botter? A view botter. What does that mean? What is a view botter? Swing low. That's quite nice actually. See that tap off the 0.618 level? That's pretty cool. See, we had a nice little tracement off the 0.618 level, and that would have been a nice alignment for where that, I can't remember your name, sorry, but where we bounced off that level. You see, bounced off that, and he got in at 5501. If it's a he, got in at 5501. So that would have been a perfect retracement off that, you know, 61.8 level, 0.618 level. Sorry. So it would have been pretty nice. So it's looking quite bullish. Overall, I think. I think a lot of the people that is joining in on these, they we call them the pip and dippers. So a lot of people just don't say anything. You know, they come on, they just find a trade, they're trying to suss me out a bit, and they don't say anything because they don't want to give me the credits. How much does a dollar affect the other currencies? Sometimes they align, and now in the choppy market it hasn't always aligned and doing the opposite. It's a good question. Like I said, I generally just don't like to trade, you know, the fundamentals, you know, like in terms of what the dollar's doing, what the gold's doing, what this is doing. I trade charts, you know, and I trade candles. So if you're looking at, like, you know, you're comparing, let's say, the dollar to the yen, or you're comparing the dollar to, you know, the USD CAD, whatever the example is, right? You constantly in like a section where you're trying to find, okay, I'm gonna buy USD, but then I'm gonna dump USD CAD because I feel like it's gonna chop. But then, like, again, like if you're gonna trade fundamentals, it's gonna completely mess with your strategy because you're constantly trying to like chop and change between certain levels, and I don't think that's a very healthy thing to do. It can work. I know people that do that. You know, they find like similarities in different charts. You know, and they'll be like, okay, you know, when Bitcoin dumps, gold goes up, right? That was happening. That was literally happening. Like Bitcoin was dumping, gold was going up, and then there was a certain point where it wasn't doing that. So then you ask yourself, like, how long does that last? Where's the point of, when is that shift between at making sense, and it's not making sense anymore. So when does the confluence stop interacting with one another, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can find that perfect timing where it's like you catching that, okay, Bitcoin's dumping, gold's bumping, so sell Bitcoin, buy gold, vice versa, you know, all the time. You can do that, you know, if you find that good pattern and you find that good strategy that works, that's fine, you know. But at the same time, you obviously you're taking a risk because you don't know when is gold going to start dumping then, and then when is Bitcoin going to start bumping, you know. So you kind of in between these two, you know, these you in between like a weird point, like where is the right and the wrong time to enter, you know. But like, you know, there are people that do that, you know. Like now everyone's buying silver, but when is the top of silver? Is it because gold's pumping that silver's pumping as well? Like, you know, or is it just like people putting their money more into commodities right now? Or, you know what I mean? It's always like, it's always gonna be hard to judge of that, you know. Like, that's why I just use candles, man. Stick to candles, make my life easier. All right, just trade what is in front of you, basically, like you said, charts and candles. Exactly, 100%. Trade what you see, because this is what's going to help you. You know, once you learn how to trade candles and charts, you'll be able to trade anything. And regardless of what you're trading, nothing else will affect that. Now, again, obviously you're going to say, yes, Luke, but what about if we have FOMC? And, you know, the dollar's going to weaken, that means gold's going to go up. Does that always happen? No. So you're basing it off the fact, you're basing it off a theory that, you know, if the dollar's going to weaken, the gold price is going to go up. But that doesn't always happen. Because again, when you look at the fundamentals on a chart, then you start to understand and you start to go, all right, this has to tap into a certain level. So maybe FOMC will bring it down or bring it up to this level, because this is where liquidity and this is where the charts need to come to. So regardless of the news, it's going to go there either way. If it's going to go there today, tomorrow, in the next hour, it's still going to hit that level regardless and do a retracement or do a rejection, right? So at the same time, if you understand your levels perfectly, you will understand, okay, cool, like FOMC might take it to that level, let's say on the 4 hour or on the daily, and that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, you know, you're also saying to yourself, like, you know, it's going to get to that level regardless, whether it's going to be an hour, 15 minutes, 2 days, it's going to get there, whether it's going to come with volume or not. Like, it might we might see price, like, let's say, like, do this, like, let's say a news scandal broke up, boom, like, you know, and then this just goes straight up, right? But again, like, we might know for a fact that price is going to get you. You know, we can't always 100% guarantee, but we might know price. But price might just do this for like hours, right? Because we have certain levels. Like, we have a support, we have a resistance here, we have a resistance here, we have structure over here. So price could just do this for like hours before, but we know the overall price is going to go there. Now again, if news comes out, boom, push the price up. We knew that it was going to get there, regardless if it's going to take structure or not structure. We know the price is going to get there, right? So I hope that helps. So here's I think someone said US session starts. Hazel said starts in 9 minutes. You see, like 9 minutes came, nothing really happened, right? So again, like you can't always, you know, you can't always just trade a certain session and expect price to do something. Like, no, okay, now obviously price is dumping, so it's like 1 minute late. It's news, so obviously maybe you're right. You know, maybe you're right, maybe you can. But again, maybe this means that there's just going to be a bit more volume coming into the market, right? So again, if you are scalp trading or if you're swing trading, for example, this could be good. Like, you could have found a position that's on the 1 minute and you could have scalped this, for example. You could have been like, okay, cool. If price came back down, we're overall bullish. If price taps down here, stop loss above here, target up there, you can do that as well, you know. But again, sometimes all that we identify is that, yes, there's volume coming into the market. Like, yes, we might come down before going back up, or we might come up before going back down. But it's just like price is going to do what it needs to do. Let me just see, get back to the 5 minutes. All right, just wait and find where the liquidity is. Yeah, find where the money, find out where the people want to go. JM said, love your stream on the expedition. Just gave a like. I gotta go. We'll be back and later. Be back again for a longer session. Really appreciate you, bro. Have a lovely day. Thanks again for tuning in right till we're almost gonna end the stream. So really appreciate you all that jumped in and tuned on. Means a lot. But okay, I know I've been saying every 10 minutes, but I'll give it another 3 minutes and I'll jump off. So any other questions? I'm really enjoying these questions. I feel like a lot of you are, you know, getting some value from these questions, and you guys are understanding. A lot of people have you know, maybe they're too scared or they feel silly to ask a question, you know, especially in the beginning, because they might not feel like it's a valid question, or they might feel like, oh, he's going to judge me or whatever. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Ask any question you like. We were all at a starting point, you know. We all got to learn. We all got to understand. See you, Hazel. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate you. Felix said, yo, what's up, Felix? Much love from Malta. Mackie Max, you're the best, Luke. You're the best for tuning in. Much love. So we're staying on for another 3 minutes. We have a direction. Again, probably when I go off this stream, guys, I'm probably going to move my stop loss to break even on this trade. If not, probably would take profits on this. We peaked at already, like, yo, it was a mad amount of profit pips already. Around 320 pips on this. So if you put in a one lot, you would have made $3,200 alone on this trade, $320. So you would have been up tons on this trade, just depending on how much you risked, obviously. How long did it take you to master your psychology? Years. The charting was easy. Because it's the same thing. Like it's really not that difficult when you look at it on a grand scheme of things. The charting was always fine for me. It was the psychology that messed me up, because I didn't understand. You know, I would take good trades, I would make money, but overall I would be losing money, and I could never understand why. You know, and that was the shift of understanding. You know, that was the shift for me of being, okay, cool, like, why I'm winning most of my trades, but I'm still not profitable. Like, why? That doesn't really make sense, right? And then, wait, Adam's going. Much love, Adam. Catch you later, bro. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm just going to answer this last question and we're going to jump off. But yeah, psychology is everything. So you gotta get to a point where, you know, I'm just going to move my stop loss to break even in this trade, because I don't want to lose money on this trade. Modify position. 1414. Take profit is 15. All right, cool. I think we'll come down to the break even on this. But yeah, psychology is everything. It's everything. Take your time with that. Understand that you're going to win, you're going to lose. The losses are obviously harder than the wins, but overall, that's how you get better at trading. Just came down to break even on this. I got out at break even, but again, it's still a valid trade, still a valid setup. But yeah, big man Luke, really appreciate the work you're putting into helping others. Really appreciate you for obviously tuning in. And thanks again, guys, for everyone that tuned on. We obviously got our break even on this trade, peaked at around 340 pips. That's quite good. If you guys are still in this trade, obviously at a break even point again, still a valid trade overall, but you know, I positioned myself good. Just on the fact that we obviously pushed a lot higher, jumping off stream. I'm gonna go eat soon, so gonna be a bit busy. But anyways, guys, much love. Appreciate you guys. Obviously, if you guys want to tune in and get access to the VIP signals, make sure to scan the QR code, jump in, Got a 100% deposit bonus for redeposits and 150% on new deposits. Make sure to get in while you still can. 2 days left.